What is going on, Internet? We're back with the Geekiverse here. I'm with Trevor, talking about some enticing and exciting and just overall awesome news. Battlefield 1 is set to come out on the 21st of October. I have it coming on the 18th, so you're probably going to see some stuff on the channel for actual footage of the game. Not beta footage this time, actual gameplay footage, somewhere around the 19th and 20th. But we did see the first 12 minutes of the campaign came out.
Oh, man.
You can find it. I'll put the link to the video that I found it from. I'll put it down in the description below. Trevor just watched it with me. Thoughts?
It looks amazing. I cannot wait to get my hands on this game. I'm not going to get it as early as you because I didn't pre-order. Or
you can still pre-order.
But, I'm probably going to now.
In fact, you can pre-order the game through an Amazon link that happens to be at the bottom of the video description. You can go and click the link, and it's right, and you can just go and get Battlefield through that link. It's pretty cool.
I guess I'll have to go do that.
So if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you go check it out. I saw it on a channel called Operator Drewski. It's also on YouTube. You can find it. Just search Operator Drewski and you'll find it. Interesting things to point out about the campaign. It looks phenomenal. It looks like a movie.
It's one of the best looking, footages of like actual in-game play that I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's not like what he posted on his channel. It's not cinematic. It is him playing the game, and it's crazy. Like it doesn't feel like a video game when you watch it. It feels like you're watching a movie. Some interesting things that we did see. It kind of, we don't know for sure yet because we haven't played it. I know some people, by the time that you're watching this, some people have played it with EA Access and Origin Access. But to us who haven't played it yet, it almost looks like if you're playing and your character dies, that's not mission over. At least in this mission, it's not mission over. It looks like you just spawn in as another character on the battlefield and you keep playing until the mission is met.
Yeah.
Now, I have the theory that they changed the campaign into a multiplayer type of campaign where when you look at the multiplayer and you play a Battlefield multiplayer, it's based on tickets. How many revives you have, your team has, until the game is over. This looks kind of like that's how the campaign is going to look, in my opinion, where you have X amount of lives, and once those are done, that's when the mission fails, not when the character dies.
Yeah, my take on that part was that because they kind of mention it in the beginning that that's how World War I was, that just tons and tons of people died, that there's a certain point to each part of the beginning of the campaign where they're showing you that, tons of people died. So they'll have you play for like up to a certain point, and it depends on if you die right away or if maybe you get through that whole section of the campaign and then you get bombed or something like that. Then you die and they switch you to the next part of the campaign as a different character. But yeah, I mean, I really like the way that you're thinking through it. It's just, I don't know if that would be as successful because I know that they did something like that with Titanfall.
Yeah,
where
Titanfall, I mean, but to be fair about Titanfall's an online game. Like,
yeah.
The original Titanfall, not Titanfall 2, the original Titanfall was completely multiplayer. So in a sense, you have to have that as the campaign.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I didn't really like about Titanfall. I've just recently started to play it a little bit. There doesn't really seem to be a lot of people on right now. Maybe there's more than there have been in the past couple months just because Titanfall 2 is coming out soon. But it's especially...
You know where you can get Titanfall 2? There's this Amazon link right below the video. You can click that and you can get it Titanfall 2. It'd be great.
I think I'll have to get that game also. I'm going to be broke. I'm going to be so broke.
I know. That's the worst part about being an avid gamer and someone who really just, not really an avid gamer, but someone who enjoys playing video games. they all come out at the same time.
Just
and every
constantly
single one of
grow.
them you get excited about, and you're like, I need this, and I need this, and I need this. And next thing you know, you've spent $200 on video games, and you're like, well, now I need to figure out a new way to eat. Now I need to get a second job.
Oh, man. But yeah, the way that they did it with Titanfall, you know, especially if it's a game that's been out for, you know, a year or whatever, and all of a sudden there's not really that many people online. You can't play a campaign when there's not that many people online.
That's true, and I'm glad that I'm sad that it failed because I did enjoy Titanfall.
Yeah.
I'm sad that failed for
But it
Titanfall.
also didn't really have that much of a story to begin with anyway.
But at the same time, I'm glad that it failed because now a bunch of video game companies are not being like, well, that's the wave of the future right there, so we don't just have purely online games.
Yeah.
I'm somebody, and we've said this before when me and Josiah talked about campaigns in general, I'm somebody who enjoys to play the campaign. Not just to learn how to play the game, which I think is an important use for the campaign, but I enjoy the stories.
Yeah.
And my biggest problem with, like, say, a game called Black Ops 3, the story just wasn't there for me. Like, I never got enthused with it. I don't even think I finished the actual campaign of Black Ops 3 because there just wasn't anything to it. It just, again, you're fighting more robots and it's space and whatever. This is something completely different. It's fresh. It looks stunning. It doesn't look like something I could have played on my 360. This looks like I needed to play it on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
It looks also like, if you watch that 12 minutes, it looks like you could have seen that in a movie. It could have been an animated movie.
I would watch a movie about World War One. Especially if it was like this game is going to be.
Let's talk about some other big things about it. Let's dive into the dark hole of the internet, which is the graphics of the game. My big thing when I play any type of World War I, World War II game, or anything, or just any war-style first-person shooter game, explosions, fire, and smoke. Those are the three things that I always look for when I'm starting one of these games. And to me, games have a hard time with those.
Yeah, especially, like you said, like war games and first-person shooter games.
Which you would think that they would make that a priority because, you know, that's kind of a big part of war games. But
yeah, and I can remember, like, going back and replaying, what was it? I think it might have been, like, Big Red 1, where it was just such crappy graphics when it came to explosions and stuff like that.
When you go back to it, you look at it and you're like,
yeah,
it's not. Even when I remember when I was playing that game, I was kind of like, well, the explosions aren't really cool. Like, you could look at an explosion, it'd be like a three-dimensional. It clearly was like they made it look like almost a Christmas tree.
Yeah, and it was like copy and pasted.
Yeah. So,
I mean, and that's the thing about games nowadays is kids nowadays are so spoiled with awesome graphics and all that. It's not
Trevor,
like...
you're really making us sound like... you're really making us sound old here, buddy.
No, but I mean, for the short amount of time that video games have...
That's true,
you know,
but keep in mind that the kids who are playing on the Xbox One, that's their first console. Think about the Xbox 3000 that's 20 years from now. That's what they're going to be playing on. They're going to be like, well, kids these days are so spoiled with the graphics. You're going to be able to play the game like it's right there in front of you soon.
Yeah, and, you know, I think that this is going to be one of those games that they compare everything back to.
Absolutely. I think this is going to be one of those games that you play this and you're like, imagine if Big Red 1 was like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm looking forward to seeing some Call of Duty Modern Warfare remastered gameplay and just looking at it and seeing what they really did to it. Like, I've seen a little bit. I've stayed away from most of it, but I've seen a little sneak peeks of it, and it looks like they made a decent remaster of it, but it's still not Battlefield 1.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to be able to, you know, catch up to this.
I honestly think I am almost ready to declare Battlefield the winner, and I haven't even played it yet, just looking at it.
Yeah.
Now, here's how it fails. Three ways that this game fails for the two of us. It fails if the story is just lackluster, if it's just another Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4 story,
Yeah, I would agree with that.
it fails. If it's incredibly unbalanced, like if the online is just so unbalanced that it's
Just
not,
snipers everywhere.
yeah, like if it turns into that where it's either you're using a sniper rifle and you're just going to be cross-mapping people the entire time, or you're sitting in a heavy tank or any of those things, I'm just going to kind of be done with the game. And then I think finally, if what we saw in the beta, which by the way, there are videos on our channel of the beta, so you can go ahead and check those out if you want to see what actual beta footage look like. If what we saw in that beta and what we see in this 12 minutes is not accurate to what the graphics look like, I think that fails for me. I think the game is not worth the money if you showed us all this cool stuff and then it's just pull the rug out from underneath us once we pay the money for it.
Exactly. I completely agree with those things.
I'm a little concerned that they said that before we saw any gameplay or anything, they said, hey, look, it's going to be awesome. We're not doing premium this time. Everybody who gets Battlefield 1 gets access to everything. Then some steam started picking up. People started super fanboying over everything.
Then all of a sudden, oh, hey, look, there's some money that can be made. And hey, premium.
Now there's, I don't want to say it's confirmed because I don't know that to be fact, but there are rumors, I'll call them rumors, that we're going to have premium access again. Kind of worries me that you're willing to just be like, well, we're not actually going to do what we said we were going to do. We want more money. Like,
yeah.
I'm a little worried about that, but again, we'll see. We'll see as the game progresses what premium access has versus what the normal user can get.
And I'm not really surprised about that. I mean, especially when you're going to have a game as big as this.
I mean, EA is huge on Season Pass. I mean, look at Battlefront.
Yeah.
You cannot get any DLC content unless you pay $59 for the Season Pass.
Yeah.
Is the DLC worth the price of a new game? That's for the users to decide.
For me, no.
I don't think it is. I don't think Battlefronts are.
No, and especially when they're coming out with, more and more stuff. They already have 3 that have come out, and it's not necessarily worth the $59.
I think as a whole, maybe. Like if you released all of it at the same time, it would have been, but I don't think it is worth it now. So I guess to wrap it up, we think that the graphics are going to be amazing, based off of what we saw.
Yeah, based off of what we've seen.
Based off of what we saw, the graphics look amazing. The story looks amazing.
Yeah. Oh, and the gameplay too. The gameplay looks really good.
There's some interesting things that I'm checking my Amazon every day to see if it's shipped early to play it, because I want to see if my theory is correct that this is going to be a ticketed based campaign, not a just linear, you have to get it done or you die and then you fail. I don't know. I think it could be cool. I'm excited to play this game.
I am too. I'm very, very excited.
You might have to come over and play the game early with me.
That sounds amazing. Yeah.
I have controllers. So,
yeah, let's do it.
If you want to see more videos, I highly recommend that you subscribe to the channel. That's the little red button that's right under the channel. It's like on, I think on your side of the screen or my side. I don't know what side of the screen it's on. It's on one of the sides of the screen. Go ahead, click down that subscribe button. Leave a comment. Tell me and Trevor, are we nuts? Trevor played it safe. Am I nuts for thinking that this is going to be a ticketed campaign? Do we like that idea? What? Like, give me some feedback. Likes, shares,
yeah.
all that stuff, and then Amazon link right below. Use our Amazon link. It'd be awesome. Get the game on Prime Access. You'll get it on the 18th, and you are allowed to play it on the 18th for Battlefield 1. So we look forward to seeing more of your comments and watching more of our videos. Stay tuned.
Stick with the Grumpster as he goes through it all. The good will have a different point of view. In the past shows, it's always been the captain who is the central character. In this particular project, the showrunners say that it will be, in fact, a character named Number One, and that we know that the character is female, and that we will learn the character's actual name by the end of the season. Also good. This show takes place 10